So you're feeling alone. I myself struggle with that. And the biggest thing is to know that we are social creatures, that we do want to be around other people. Now, whether you're the kind of person that likes going out and being social, or that you're the kind of person that likes staying in and just being isolated, being by yourself, there's always a time when you need to recharge, especially if you are the kind of person that likes sitting at home. And I myself am that kind of person, right? I'm more of an introvert, although sometimes it may not seem that way, but I am very much an introvert. I've always been an introvert. Although I do enjoy going out and doing things with other people, I always have to come back and recharge. Now, there are a lot of people that are the complete opposite, right? A lot of people feed off the energy of others and have to be around other people. And, depending really on the type of person that you are, being alone can be hard, right? Especially if you're that, extrovert that wants to go out and be around people and you're energized. And if you're not getting that, it can be rough. And at that point, I think if you feel alone, then you should join some kind of group, right? You should find something that you're interested in, and you should go out and do whatever it is. Maybe it's like rock climbing. So go sign up for a rock climbing group and go out and be social. And I myself, right, again, I'm an introvert, so more than likely when I feel alone, there's a lot of different ways you can do it, right? You can join a club, or you can actually, join some kind of, online Discord chat and talk with other people with similar interests. You'll find that you won't feel so alone, right? And the biggest thing is you should, even if you are an introvert like myself, you should get out and intermingle with other people, because that's extremely important. And as human beings, again, we are naturally drawn to want the acceptance of others, even though some of us, may not need it as much as other people. It is still very important. This is why you're feeling alone. Now, there's a lot of times I've noticed, even like in a relationship, right? You may be with someone, but yet you still feel alone. And then it comes right back to the same question, right? And I think it's important, if you are in a relationship, that you, again, have your own separate life, right? Because if you are constantly on top of each other, you guys really don't have a lot to really discuss, right? Because you guys are doing the same things all the time, every day, day in, day out, same routine, and you aren't living your life. And so it's important to get out and be involved in other groups that will allow you to grow, and then you don't feel as lonely, right? Because you are satisfying that need for yourself. And then you can go back into that relationship with a newfound love, a newfound, excitement to share with the other person. So you're not feeling as lonely, because a lot of times, you're just overwhelmed by being with that person, 24/7, you eat and sleep with them. And the biggest thing is that you don't have that time to yourself. Again, and then on the opposite spectrum, you have that solo person that may be, just living by themselves. And how, again, do you fight that, right? How do you allow yourself to not feel alone? And that goes back to the whole, joining a club, joining people with similar interests. And a lot of times, we get stuck in this thing, right? We don't want to break out of our routine, so we find it very hard to want to try new things. But you'll find that if there's something you're curious about and you go out and explore it, that you'll be ecstatic, right? You'll want to go do that thing, and then you'll start not being so alone, right? Because you have people with similar interests. And I think that's ultimately what it comes down to, is you feel alone because you're perhaps not doing something that's exciting to you anymore, and you're not doing it with the right kind of people. And again, it even reflects back to a relationship, right? If that person you're with may not have a similar interest, so that's okay. All you got to do is just, go out and do that thing with other people and then come back, right? And then you, again, can relate that information. we need to understand that loneliness is natural, and some of us are, I think, better equipped to deal with loneliness, although we all still need to be somewhat social, right? We all still need to go out and do those things that can ultimately, fill that hole that we have, right? That social acceptance, because we all, even though there's some people out there that say, I don't really care what all these people think, deep down there's a part of you that does care, and you only may need the approval of one person, one voice, right? And so ultimately that's essentially what we're looking for, right? And I think the biggest thing is because we beat ourselves up so much all the time. We're like our worst critic. You can do something and you feel like you just, you've done it the worst possible way. Like, so many people could have done it better than you could. And it's funny because of the fact that us being our own worst critic, right? We feel like we can't put ourselves out there and allow ourselves to be accepted, right? And so this is, I guess, where that loneliness will come, is when you just want that acceptance and you're not finding it internally, because there's such an internal struggle that we just need that one voice to tell us that what we're doing is okay, that one voice to tell us that, we're not alone, that people agree with us. And I think once you hear that, once you see that, it makes it easier, and being alone isn't so hard, right? Now, a lot of us, we tend to go into relationships because we feel like we need to, fill that void, right? Fill that void of loneliness with someone, something. And I think that is where it can be extremely detrimental, right, to our health and to everything, and to our situation. We could be making our situation worse by feeling it with someone that's extremely negative, or something that may put us in debt. A bunch of these different things, right? A bunch of these different outcomes that can make the situation worse, because we're trying to fill that void of loneliness. When all you may have to actually do is try to self-connect to yourself, right? And stop holding on to things, holding on to past relationships, or, holding on to different things that may have happened in your past that, you're feeling guilty about, and realizing that you can let that stuff go, that none of that stuff matters, right? It was in the past. That's not who you are today. And you need to really get out of your head, because a lot of times we just overthink things, and we feel lonely, again, because we're looking for that acceptance, and again, we're our own worst enemies, so we play against all that stuff, right? And then we feel like we're never gonna find that person, or we're never going to be not lonely ever again because of that fact. And I think it's extremely important, again, to self-connect and find ways of doing that. There's plenty of meditations out there and stuff like that can really help you stop being so focused on filling that void, when you can fill that void yourself, right? By accepting yourself for who you are and what you are, and allowing it to, give it time, and not rush into things, not rush into buying things to fill that void, not rushing into a relationship that's not going to make you happy. So again, I think that's what's extremely important here, is to connect with yourself, enjoy yourself. Be curious, join the groups for now. Join whatever group that is, whether you're going to join a Discord group or you're going to join some, rock climbing group, whatever it is, find the interest now. Don't rush into any kind of relationship. Again, don't rush into buying something to fill that void. This is not what you want to do. You want to self-connect, and you want to accept yourself for who you are, because you're unique and you're perfect, right? We don't all want to be the same kind of person. We want to be unique. This is what makes us great individuals, because we're not the same. And you need to realize that, and you need to understand that it's okay. Because once you find that acceptance, I think that loneliness goes away, it dissipates. And yes, it will come around, and during that time, we'll just go out and grab a coffee with a friend, or go out and join that group, right? But don't rush into anything that you're not ready for. And realize that majority of the time, you're just trying to fill that void, 9 out of 10 times. So I hope this helps you guys. If it has, Remember to hit that like button, and until next time, I will see you guys later.